It says we're live. We'll check out the audio. I have turned the microphone on, haven't I? Yeah. Forgetting so much at the moment. It's unbelievable. I haven't got any audio here. Oh, there we go.
I've got.
Yeah, we're good. Well, good evening, all you lovely, lovely weirdos.
Evening, Mo.
Good evening, Mo. 6 people in there.
You're live. I just got a message.
You just got a message. Let's see how we keep going tonight. Oh, just a little out of breath, so I've got to have a ciggy. I've just been upstairs. But, who else we got in then? Come on, we can't have Moo and the rest lurkers.
Me and you and a mate named Moo.
Excuse me a minute while I construct this. Gosh, my breathing did go a bit haywire again then, didn't it?
Yeah, you also can't multitask, can you? You can't roll a cigarette and talk at the same time.
No.
Well, you can, as long as it's drivel.
It just, everything I does gets me out of breath at the moment. It's...
I've stopped running.
Well, I have, sort of.
I'll let you catch me now.
Yeah, I can run for 3 steps. Well, it looks like you're on your own in the comments, then, Moo. Oh, my throat's going a bit doo-dally again.
Well, we got 7 watching. You, me, 4. 4 people that won't comment.
I don't matter. They might not be subscribers, so they can't comment yet anyway.
True. So. Or it might be our normal lurkers. If that's the case, good evening, lurkers. Chief Lurker.
I'm just thinking I did post it on YouTube, didn't I? Yeah.
I got an alert.
Yeah. I didn't put it on Facebook this week.
But it is Easter holidays. There's Karen.
Good evening, Karen. Oh, I've got the bloody sniffles now as well. Mind you, if you look at all the propaganda on Facebook and everywhere else, we got a new variant rampaging through the country, haven't we, apparently? Cicada, which I think is a beetle in America.
I was just about to say, that's a beetle.
With about 57 offshoots or something. And, of course, they're all more dangerous and contagious than the rest.
Didn't they say there's one jab can fix them all?
Yeah. But it can't be true because it ain't on mainstream media.
And they posted it today. Anybody could get caught out with April Fools? There were some amusing things out there, but...
yeah.
A little bit too ridiculous, the ones I saw.
Oh, Paddy. I'll take it that's aimed at Karen then.
Of course. He's our pet Paddy.
Yeah, don't forget I'm half Paddy. I can't decide which half, but...
The daft half.
The daft half. Yeah, it's like split the swimming pool up between you, and I'll have the top half. Happy New Year. Yeah, there's a lot of people waking up, aren't there, Moo, and thinking they've been in hibernation with everything going on. I mean, you got Starmer now, big Cobra meeting. We're going to sort everything out. Yeah. And all he's come up with is we'll have another meeting with the G7. Another little jolly. I hope he's paying for his own fucking fuel at the moment if he's using a private jet.
All he seems to be able to do is talk to people. Can't make a decent decision.
I mean, well, in a way, they're being forced into a decision now with what Trump said, basically go fuck yourselves. If you want the oil, go get it for yourselves. Or if you really want to make yourselves look mugs, buy it off of him. And I mean, someone said the other day that they're even considering lifting some of the Russian sanctions on oil so they can buy off of the Russians. Well, he's already seizing the Black Fleet Russian tankers, isn't he? So what's all that about? But yeah, they keep on about this cutting the energy bills. Well, I've said before, most people won't see anything off their bills. They might see a couple of quid a month if you're lucky. Yeah, that could happen, Moo, for fuel lockdowns. But they keep harping on about we're going to drop your bills by 117 quid for 3 months by lowering the cap by that amount. Well, that £117 cap, I believe, quotes for the whole year. Because if that's per month, I doubt if anybody's going to see £351 disappear off their bills in 3 months. If you work it out per month, it works out that if the cap stayed at that, not that it's going to affect anybody because nobody pays up to that level, it would be 9 quid a month if you were paying up to the cap, which, as I say, most people then.
Can't even get a cup of coffee and a sandwich at Costa for that.
No. I mean, 150 quid off everybody's bills. We're saving you 150 quid. Well, if you're a heavy user with a big family, that's probably 1 month's fuel and electric and gas, Good evening, Loafer. I don't really know. They obviously burn different. One burns with the fuse and the other will actually burn or explode under pressure or something like that.
Yeah, but there's 2 F's in paraffin and there's no F in
diesel. Yeah.
Come on,
April
you know.
Fools. I know. I always take things to the limit. But yeah, his statement today after this here so-called Cobra meeting. What a load of bollocks. All he did was reiterate what they're fucking gonna do, which they've been saying for fucking weeks. It doesn't look like there's going to be any relief on fuel. Although everybody else is around the world. I mean, Australia, I think it is, have cut 50% off of the fuel duty to help out, and they're giving the truckers tax-free fuel or something to help keep the country running. They can see what's going to happen. Why can't the dickhead hear? Yeah, it's
because anything like that will cost money.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the other things that are coming in today. The business rates go up. Don't forget, it's the 1st April when everything changes. Everything goes up. Killing off more companies and businesses, basically. The minimum wage goes up. So, yeah, you'll have more pennies in your pocket right up until you finish working your notice, because your employer won't be able to afford to pay it with everything else extra he's got to pay. So, boom, the government lose the taxes from a business, from an employer, from an employee. So rather than gain taxes, they'll more than likely have to pay out more because those people that are being put out will probably claim benefits of some description. They work against themselves with this shit. Yeah. And this human workers' rights bill, that's going to play havoc with everything. Yeah, that really is. That stupid Ginger Growler, she's never ever thought that one through. And at the end of it, as always, we'll defend our people, we'll defend our allies. From what I see, we haven't fucking got any anymore. You know, even the Arabs are turning against us. You know, remember when the Irish used to be the butt of everybody's jokes? Sorry, Karen, but the Irish used to carry it well and use the fact. But now we're the butt of the world's jokes. Think about that.
Yeah, you still can't beat a good tree fella's joke.
Oh, no. All right, Jen, no worries, darling. Have a nice time.
Enjoy.
Be safe, be careful if you're out, especially at the moment with everything going on. They're seeing these gangs running right everywhere. We've had them here in Birmingham, London, looting and robbing. There's been quite a few stabbings in Birmingham over the weekend, to be honest. And Starmer keeps coming up, oh, we're building the economy. Well, one example of how he's doing that. The plant in Scotland for making the components for I believe it was for the windmills, this green power shit. He's decided to block the building of the new plant in Scotland that was going to be producing these parts, creating thousands of jobs it's an industry. It's going to be a construction type thing. There's the building of the place, then there's people to manufacture the things and put them together. The jobs would create a tax revenue. The wages would be spent locally. So it would help the local economy. But no, they blocked it. So they would be made in China and shipped here in a dirty diesel burning ship at great cost, no doubt. Well, I believe China was going to finance this plant and that anyway, because they're getting their feet under the tables everywhere. But because of that now, they're going to build them in China. And who's going to benefit from that here? Nobody. Because our taxes and what have you, and sky-high bills at the moment, will have to pay for all this, while doing our own people out of jobs and income and money in the economy. And this is numbnuts' idea of building the fucking economy. He's not selling us off anymore. He's giving us away, literally.
He's paying people to take work away from us.
Yeah,
and
literally, he's selling our economy. He's even trying to sell our lands if he can't give them away. We're being sold down the drain at every fucking opportunity. Are Chinese tankers being allowed through the States on this? Well, apparently, I don't keep up too much with what's going on out there, Loafer. I mean, what concerns me is the shit it's causing here. Oh, hello. What, hello. I've lost some fucking pages here. What we going on? Oh no, that's two. Yeah, okay. Sorry. It's me. It's with my head at the moment. It's all over the fucking place again. Yeah, I don't quite know. I mean, I've heard that they're allowing anybody through at a price, providing you pay in Chinese yen, I think it is, or something.
And you're not American.
If you're obviously somebody that's supporting Iran, then they're letting them through. But I honestly can't see how it affects us that much when we get most of ours from Europe. And I don't know whether they're getting their oil from Iran. I know some of them were still getting it from Russia, along with the gas. But what a ridiculous thing! You put sanctions on one because you're trying to block a war, and then you lift them sanctions because another war is causing you grief. I mean, what the fuck goes through Starmer's head? You know? It's bloody ridiculous. I mean, the immigration thing now. You've got them trying to bribe the French again to stop them, despite not being able to have done it before when they've given them hundreds of millions of bloody pounds. And we're seeing them more coming across now with the calmer weather as it's been. It's been a bit more settled. Unfortunately, there was 2 lives lost in the channel this morning, I believe it was. I understand it was on the French side. But as I've always said, you play silly games, you pay your money, you take your gamble. Whether you win or lose, it's your gamble. You've made it. But, and, you know, there's protests all over the place. We're seeing it literally every day now. Outside hotels, outside public buildings. We're getting the latest of it here. When you look at what's happening in Ireland, the EU, you know, although the EU took a vote the other day on von der Leyen's immigration ideas or whatever it was she wanted to do. And they totally rejected them a while back. And basically they voted to start taking their own countries back and getting rid of immigrants, deporting them against what Brussels wanted. So good on you. You're waking up. But now the French want more money off us again. Yeah, it's... Now, hang on, let's see if I can find it. I bought some things up.
If you ask somebody for money and they go, yes, here you go, spend it however you want to and enjoy yourself, it's an easy tap.
Yeah, but
that. You keep going back till the person says, no, not this time, you've had enough.
I found some the other day and I'm... Oh, no, I want it to go smaller. Go away. I want it up there so I don't miss any comment. Pardon. But you'll have to tell me if anybody comments. I can't see them. I saw Stitch. Good evening, Stitch. Little Stitch. And resist. Keep giving the French money to stop the immigrants. Now, under the EU law, European law, are they breaking it? Because I looked at a brief outline of it, and it could be classed as breach of contract. Some of the key points is unfair commercial practices. well, I would say it's commercial with the amount that are coming. The directive prohibits misleading actions or admissions, charging for a service that was never rendered, and can be considered a misleading practice if it involves false information, untruthful claims about the service's delivery, therefore making it illegal. It goes into consumer rights, the Consumer Rights Directive, to be more precise. This law requires traders to obtain your express consent for any payment that is additional to the main price for goods or services. It explicitly bans hidden charges, pre-checks boxes for extra service you did not specifically request. Now, to me, they've only completed part of the service because they haven't stopped the boats. In fact, they've stopped very few. Are they stepping outside of that? The last bit here doesn't really concern this about paying for them to stop the immigrants coming. But funny enough, it does could relate to the BBC, especially once they've had their royal charter removed next year, if that happens. Because it actually says inertia selling. It is considered an aggressive and unfair practice to demand payment for services provided but never requested. Their example is a pre-activated SIM card features that you weren't told about. So I never requested the BBC. I don't want to watch the BBC. So would that come under inertial selling? That was just something I thought about, and
that has been a lot of people's argument in the first place, isn't it? Why do I need a licence?
Yeah.
Do not watch the BBC.
But if he wants to go under the EU laws like he wants to, with the ECHR and that, and he is introducing more European laws, they're trying to bring them through, surely under that would make any broadcasting company demanding money to watch their stuff when you haven't requested to watch it. I think the only thing that's keeping the BBC licence in place is that Royal Charter, which is up for grabs next year, up for renewal. So I would say that is something we need to start putting pressure on about now. Not just saying defund the BBC, don't pay their licence, but do not issue the charter again. Do away with it. In today's technology world, with streaming services, pay-per-view, that charter is not needed. All it's doing is keeping a corrupt enterprise in money. Well, not so much of it nowadays, but yeah. Surprising what you can find out with just a little bit of a pressing of the buttons. I'm getting quite good at it now. But we're all suffering from the man-made cost of living crisis we've got. And then this week, someone reported that the MPs are going to get, £3,300 increase in their living expenses. On top of the pay rise that they're getting. which is going to push an upwards of £100,000 a year now with that. And, meanwhile, they throw us crumbs. They flatly refuse to fucking use our own gas and oil, which for now would get us out of quite a bit of shit. And in the future, might even make us a bit of money, thinking about it. But, they're refusing more or less to help us with any of the cost of living. I mean, food prices are going to soar from today because the extra cost on production, delivery, and whatever is going to hit the roof, and it's us that pays for that. Diesel's almost at £2 a litre now. So, saved up the money for the holiday. Now we've got to start saving for the fucking petrol to get there. But luckily enough, we got the tax and insurances and MOTs and everything out of the way just before this all goes off today. So we got a year at least on the car, except fuel, of last year's prices, as it were. And the tax burden on it is a bit easier because if you get the mobility, even if you don't have a mobility car, if you've got enough points on there, you can actually get 50% off of your road tax, which makes it even better, really. Is it if you got the blue badge in it?
If you get the lower rate, you get 50%.
Yeah.
If you get the higher rate, you get the full amount.
Oh, I didn't know that. So there you go. Because it's actually Heather that's got the blue badge, not me.
It's because the car's in my name.
Yeah, because the car's in your name. But apparently it's 50% if you get the lower rate, and you get it for free if you get the higher rate.
I'm learning so much about benefits.
Yeah. And there's probably a lot of people out there that don't actually know that.
They do tend to tell you, but...
Well, the thing is, because the rules have changed, haven't they? They do actually now have to disclose what you can claim in one form or another, because there's so much being hidden that people didn't know they could claim. Whether that was just PIP or the DWP, I don't know, but there was
there's so many things that you can and can't do. Reading through them all and taking them all in and knowing what you can and can't claim, it's a minefield.
Yeah.
There's just too much to, if this, if that, if the other, trying to find the right scenario for yourself. Yeah, great fun. But, anything to do with .gov.uk is crap.
Well, yeah, that to be honest, it makes sense that they're not going to come out and tell you, because that's one way they save money. But, withholding information, especially if it's something that people need, it's we know it's a government of cover-ups. Do you remember his opening lines? We will be the most transparent government you've ever seen. Yes, okay.
You can see straight through him. You can see it's all lies.
Yeah.
He is transparent. He's a little liar.
Yeah, you can see through him. That's about the only transparency the fucking idiot's got. Yeah. Yeah, well, what do you think of this? Is anybody else gonna? I'm gonna certainly try. I'll probably be in bed. Watch this here launch of the new Artemis rocket.
Oh, and there was me getting all hopeful.
Ah, you'll be asleep and snoring by then. You fucking will. 11 o'clock. Jesus. I'll be just starting to stop my legs twitching. But yeah, I mean, they're going back to the moon, as they're saying. No, they're not. They're just, this one is just a very, very expensive flyby. Yeah.
I reckon they're scanning or
Well,
lidaring or whatever the dark side of the moon.
no, I actually found out what it's for.
Go
And it's not to put a PR stunt for a diverse crew. Basically, what they're saying, it's a proving flight to test the life support systems, all the systems on board, the launch systems. So that's all within view of Artemis 3 actually doing a moon landing. Well, personally, I would like to know all them things fucking work before I got thrown up there. But
somebody's going to be the first. But like I said, you don't make it that difficult. You're bound to fail before you start. So baby steps. Go up, fly round, have a look, come back.
Yeah, it's. I mean, but hey, you know, if it goes horribly wrong, it's going to make a fucking good movie, isn't it? You know, we can call it Houston, we have a problem 2-0. I mean, you get just checking Noon Indian takeaways up there. Yeah, well, they got to create some corners to put the little corner shop in, and the Indian and the Chinese takeaways. You know, a few apartments and probably a space city for the immigrants. There's a thing. Send all the immigrants to the moon. No, don't even go down that fucking route. But, you know, there's that much junk up there from other countries. Don't forget, lots of other countries have tried to land stuff on the moon. You know, for drilling, testing for mining, see what precious things they can find. Well, I think the biggest amount of money to be made on the moon by the time anybody realistically gets there will be the intergalactic scrap man, because there's an absolute fucking fortune in precious metals and all the junk that they've left up there over the years.
Yeah, the Polish are working on that one.
You know, you won't need to mine it. You can pick it up off the fucking surface. You know, there's even transport there if you take a new battery. You know? Oh dear.
I think they're looking for water. I think they're doing a
if they can find water, that means they can more or less produce oxygen, fuel for further rockets, and stuff like that, which is perfect because that's what they want. They want it as a staging place to get to the moon. They need fuel. And it is like somebody said the other day about why these American jets all flying around off North Cornwall. Well, it's simply because the bombers are taking off fully loaded. They use a lot of fuel on takeoff, and they refuel to replace that bit of fuel that they've used, or a lot of fuel, so they can fly off and complete their missions. And, you know, obviously it's the same with space travel. You ain't going to get from here to Mars in one fucking hit. And you certainly ain't going to fucking get back. You know, they're looking in way after we're gone. With my age group anyway. Some of the young ones might see it, but, you know, that's their goal. That's where they're trying to head to. And it's no good, as you know, rushing off unprepared without things in place to make sure you can get there. I'm exactly the same when we go away on holiday. I prepare for every contingency that can go fucking wrong in the car.
and then leave both my coats and my walking stick in the house.
Well, you're responsible for your own packing. You
No,
can't blame that on
no,
me.
no. They were in the hall, ready to go. Because
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to put anything in the car.
I work on instructions.
Logic. I'm going to need a coat and I'm going to need a.
You get the
walking
priorities
stick.
right.
The walking stick was in the car. You took it
Fishing
out.
tackle first.
You took my stick out to load the fishing tackle and didn't put it back. And I'm not lying. We ended up. I bought a coat from the second-hand shop in Silloth and a walking stick.
That's it. She's
on
off.
The
She's
car
off.
on the Sunday. Honestly, not a word of a lie.
Oh, Moo, don't get me started on fucking flat Earth, for crying out loud. I mean, if it was flat, they'd say you fly across it rather than round it, wouldn't you? You don't go on a cruise across the world. You go on a cruise around the world.
I want to know what flat earthers are going to do about this if it all goes well, or are they just going to say it's like two plates on the table and you're just doing a thing?
Oh, they've got some weird theories. Oh, pardon me. But yeah. Oh, they brought up they actually had the grooming gangs on mainstream media. Well, they haven't got much choice now. The inquiry is going to start. But will it be shown live, like the post office inquiry and the COVID inquiry? Or will we just get to hear the bullshit results and the cover-ups? You know? I don't hold my breath, but...
You can't, you need your spray if you do.
Yeah, but it was interesting, mainstream media's take on it. Now, I saw the bit on Sky that they did about it. And apparently, according to one wet wimp on there, this has only come about because of Elon Musk's intervention. No, we've been complaining about this for fucking years. There's over 40 years of fucking evidence. That's how long people have been complaining, and they want an inquiry. It's got fuck all to do with Elon Musk. It's the fact that he is in the position he is, and he brought it up in public. This is why they've been trying to cover it all up in the media and everything else. But yeah, he actually said, oh no, that this has only been brought up in the last year because of Elon Musk. Good evening, Stu. How are you, mate? But yeah, and even the Baroness, what's her face, that's chairing it. We will concentrate on, how did she put it? The exploitation of these young girls. Well, does that include the people that covered up in the police, the councils, the government? Hello, my computer was doing something in the background then. What's all that about? But yeah, is it going to be a complete inquiry? They say they're going to hold everybody to account. I think they'll try. But good to see the clocks change. Stu, honestly, mate, between the change in the daylight hours and clocks that don't seem to work right in this house, I've been fucked up since Sunday morning, basically.
I mean, clocks that don't
Yeah, well, my
work
body
right.
clock is screwed anyway, isn't it? It
Well,
has
yeah.
been for years.
No, it's
Um,
not screwed. You get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, or 2:30 or 3.
No, that's other issues. But you've always been up and out for 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's your natural that's your natural rhythm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I stay out till midnight, have a drink or three, and then get up for
Yeah, but I don't
8.
drink, do I? Maybe I need to go back to smoking weed last thing at night. That might knock me out.
I've got a frying pan. I could knock you out.
Oh, thank you. But, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the COVID inquiry is still going on. That's years down the line, with more modules to come. This one, they reckon they can complete in 3 years. The COVID inquiry was something that happened over a period of 2 years. The grooming gangs are something that's been happening for over 40 years. But they think they can get to the cause in 3.
Yeah, because they know who it is that's to blame. The police that didn't do anything, the courts that didn't do anything. It's a clear-cut case. It shouldn't even take that long.
And it will show just how bad this racism shit and Islamophobia's got in this country. It really will. When the fucking police and the government are frightened of it, But is this going to help bring those to justice that's committed the crimes? Is it going to expose that? Don't forget, they have actually destroyed quite a lot of records. And I don't just mean from the police, I mean councils, governments. They've all been losing their heads over this and getting rid of what they can. But don't forget, don't lose sight of the fact that this happened on the Tories' watch as well. Everybody's going after Labour for it. Yes, they've been covering it up, but don't forget it was happening on the Tories' watch as well. So they're not free of any blame in this. And again, they're trying to silence us on what we can say to stop people discussing it, talking about it. Oh, absolutely, Stu. And the cover-up goes right to the top, mate. We can see that. It's plain to see. I mean, the evidence that's in front of people's eyes can't be ignored. The fact that they try to cover it up points towards guilty, doesn't it? Straight away, you try and cover up a crime, you're guilty as committing that crime, as far as I'm concerned.
But it was a transparent cover-up.
But yeah. And they will use the Online Safety Act to try and silence us over it. I can absolutely guarantee it. But really, if they go ahead with this ban for the under 16s on the internet or social media, is the Online Safety Act needed? I mean, don't forget, the main reason they put it in place, allegedly, was to protect the kids. So if the kids aren't allowed on there, it doesn't need anything else to protect them from it, does it? Think of that. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't worked in Australia. The following day when they implement it, the kids were talking to their English friends over here just as they normally do. Kids being kids, they're going to find a way around anything technical. And if they can't, you can guarantee the hackers will.
All I'll say is my granddaughter's account will not be disqualified because she's already over 16.
Yeah,
But by the time they get round to this, she will be. But
yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
because it was the only way she
And
could
I've
set
said
it up
before,
then.
they starve them of information and then they want to give them the vote. They're not going to ever see the truth of anything. If grooming gang gets made legal, what happens to crofts? Yeah, all right, Moo. All right, Moo. Talking across this shit that they're coming out with now about the dogs. The BBC.
Evil creatures.
The BBC did that hit piece on the evil dogs. And we know why. It's because a certain minority are kicking up. The fact that luckily at the moment there's probably more fucking dogs in this country than there is of them. They're even outnumbered on that score, aren't they?
Maybe that's one of the reasons they're worried.
But we're talking about Muslims and Islam. I'll call it by name, because they are the only ones. The English haven't got a problem with dogs. The Chinese absolutely loved the taste of them until a few years ago. But they don't have a problem with them. It's only one particular minority. And they will use it as a group that collectively hates dogs just for propaganda purposes. But look at it this way. Khan's a Muslim. He's always been photographed with his, what is it? He's got retriever, isn't it? Oh, look at me. I'm a Muslim. I love dogs. Starmer's got one, I believe, hasn't he? Wasn't he the first Prime Minister to have a dog in number 10? There's always been Larry the cat or cats.
Is that why Larry pissed off for a while?
I wouldn't be at all surprised. I'd trust the fucker more than I would Starmer.
He is back though.
But, as we know, yes, some dogs have issues, but on the whole, there's no bad dogs, just bad owners. And owners that haven't trained them. Yeah, exactly, Stu. The dogs are here legally, they're not. I mean, I kept dogs for many years. And, I had one. He was my best dog, and he had bit the odd one or two people, but only on command, I might add. And believe me, it was done because they needed it. But, okay, the BBC pushed this story about this woman that had an irrational fear of dogs. Total fear of them. To the point where she won't leave her home. Or very rarely. Unfortunately, yes, there are people like that. It can be down to an experience. It can be just a mental issue. It can be anything that set them off. And there are people like that. But, there's people that won't leave houses on cloudy days because they're petrified of clouds.
Agoraphobia won't leave the house at all.
Exactly, agoraphobics. So why single out dogs for this?
You need to kill all the spiders because I don't like them.
How does someone with an irrational fear of clouds even go out nowadays? They get maybe one day a month where we got clear skies, and that's got the grey haze on it.
And maybe it's not such a conspiracy being afraid of clouds after all.
Yeah, it's well, if it's a conspiracy theory, why are states in America banning it? Yeah, but people nowadays, general members of the public, Some have got the fear of walking down the street because it's full of foreigners. Some have got the fear that they're going to get attacked, raped, mugged.
I can hope.
And a fear that more or less, not in total, a fear that is more or less created by one ideology. I mean, and that ideology, they're frightened of dogs because that ideology tells them that they should be frightened of them. Not because they are, but because their so-called religion tells them that they're fucking frightened of them. They're dirty animals. It's not that they're actually frightened of them. You know, I mean, what's next? I mean, they've had a go at the cats. You know, they've all got to be low-jacked. Birds. Apparently, they all even had to be fucking registered if you got them as pets. You know, I mean, you don't see, even Muhammad didn't hate those. You know, well, unless you have a pet pig, of course, I suppose, yeah, they seem to take a bit of offence to that. But we can't defend ourselves with pepper sprays. We're not allowed fucking tasers. How about a little perfume pump with essence of bacon or pork pies in it? Could you use that legally in self-defence?
I have a pork spray. Keep away from me.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, and this one here behind me just blurted straight out, what comes next? Our pet goldfish, are they going to catch guppy flu? The bullshit and the propaganda is never ending from them. It really isn't. You know? And it's gone beyond a joke. Now, I see a lot of it, to be honest, as a joke. Although it is very, very serious. I see it as a fucking joke. Especially what that idiot keeps coming out with.
If you can't make fun of what the shit that we're in, and the fact that dickwad can't appreciate it, even the Conservatives now are turning around and saying we need to open the gas and oil fields after they're the ones that closed it.
Yeah.
The world is changing, and getting rid of all fossil fuel use was wrong.
Yeah.
We need that now. We work towards green, don't have an issue with that, but make the shit here, don't ship it halfway across the world, and make it our investment, not China.
Exactly. I don't think it's dogs that are the dirty animal. Exactly, Stitch. I said this the other week. Why are they complaining about dogs being dirty? We've seen plenty of videos of them themselves having a shit or a piss in public, having sex in public. No different to a dog, really, is it? Shit scared of chemtrails, but they're not going to ban them. Well, Stu, we live literally a few miles from one of the Birmingham airports. And you can actually see the high level ones that fly over. We've got the takeoff, depending on the wind, we've got the takeoff in front of me here, where they all take off. And behind me out the front of the house, you've got the incoming. So I do quite often look at the tracker, literally because we do see some unusual stuff. We've seen military aircraft coming out of there and what have you. But we'll have a beautiful clear day. I look at the tracker, I can see half a dozen high altitude, flying straight past, not coming into Birmingham. No trails. If they do, they're the ones that literally disappear behind the jet, as it were. And then you'll get another day where you'll see them all coming across, and the white trails are wide, they're hanging about. I did some pictures the other day on Facebook where you could physically see it. Started out a beautiful clear day. Then we started getting some fluffy, genuine, as I call them, white clouds. They got a bit more and more, but it was still beautiful, sunny, warm. And you could see them coming across, and the trail would start and stop in the gaps that were blue between the clouds, as if they were filling in. I actually put I think it was 4 pictures up on Facebook of it. I didn't do a video. It was, I don't know why. I should have done it. It would have been easier, but it would have been too long showing it all. An angel will not enter a dwelling where a dog doth dwell. Can't recall specific. Never heard of that.
Dogs were used by the Hebrews to watch their houses and to guard their flocks.
I'll tell you what, Stu, you saying that, mate, about the chemtrails. Now, as I've always said, we've holidayed for quite a few years now in Cumbria. The beach, which is literally in front of the cottage, faces the North Sea. It's on the end of the Solway Firth estuary. So there's always quite a breeze coming in on shore. But we don't see the chemtrails up there. The sky's always clear and blue. The fresh air coming in, it helps my COPD. I can breathe better up there. I seem to have a bit more energy up there. And down here, I'm even if I'm outside in wherever, I'm just struggling all the time.
I think we should move up there.
I would love to move up there.
Trouble is, all we'd have to do is fish.
I'm quite happy with that.
So you know,
but yeah, you know, if it's just a conspiracy theory, why states in America ban them and a couple of countries around the world banning it. And, you know, there's video and picture evidence to show that the skies are clear where they banned it as well. We go up to, it's near Sillett, between Sillett and Maryport. So it's not a defined village or anything. It's in between the two. You know, if we want to go to shop or anything like that, it's basically a 5-6 mile drive either way.
There are a few bits and pieces closer, but
yeah, they're just individual shops like the dairy shop, the farm shop, and yeah, lovely fresh milk. But you know, as I said before, that the cottage is literally less than 30 yards from the beach, so I don't have to walk far. When we fish Silleth Prom, you can literally get out the car, set your rods up in front of the car and fish, which is brilliant for us because it means we've got access to a bit of sea fishing. I mean, I'd love to go and fish rock marks and piers and places like that. There are plenty that you can fish while you're disabled. But in our condition, we'd be lucky to survive the walk to get to them. You know, Chisel Beach, the Long Arm at Dover, we'd never be able to fish one of them because we wouldn't be able to walk far enough to do it. Plus, on a pier or jetty or whatever, for safety reasons, we need handrails or guardrails, safety rails, whatever, because of mobility issues. And it's hard to find somewhere that matches, but we're happy going up there. We know the area, we've got to know the people.
The first time we went up there, he pointed out into the distance, out into the sea, and down the Solway Firth, and he went, "That looks like an island over there. What's that?" And I said, "Isle of Man."
Yeah, you where we stay, you can actually see the Isle of Man.
So you've got to be at a certain height, and it's got to be at low tide to get a decent view.
Yeah, you can only
island.
see the top of the mountain at Ramsey.
High tide on the beach, you cannot see it.
No.
See it at shop.
Yeah, I did post some pictures of it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as a crow flies, I think it's 22 mile. But if you want to catch a ferry across, you've got to go all the way back down to Liverpool. I've only been there once, but it's a nice island. Very, very nice island. What do you reckon of this lefty protest in London last weekend then? Oh, fucking mainstream media saying there was 500,000 there. If that was 500,000, then Tommy Robinson's last win in London wasn't 3 million; it was more like 5.
Yeah, but that was only about 10,000, wasn't it?
Been to Annan. I've never heard of that, Stu. The missus might know if it's in the area.
Annan.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Literally, we look across the estuary and we're looking at Scotland.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the other side of the estuary.
Yeah.
Where's the map?
Since we've been up there, we've never been north of the border. I've only been up north a couple of times into Scotland, and that was quite a few years ago. Muslim gay Jewish alliance, third place in the
Annan. Yeah, Annan's much further up. We're actually down sort of opposite Criffle.
I'll tell you what, Loafer. I've got a theory on that, mate. You know, with the green policies, strictly speaking, there shouldn't be any Muslims in the party. But I think the Muslims are using it as a way in. They'll take over the party. They'll put up with the shit they're coming out with for now. And once they've got control of the party, that's when they step up. Don't forget what all their clerics say in their speeches. We will infiltrate your government. We will infiltrate your councils. And we will take over. You know, they're telling you their plans. And you can see them doing it in front of your fucking eyes, you know. Well, unless you're in the Labour Party and then you're fucking blind to it, aren't you?
That's their problem. They do not open their eyes. They don't listen. They don't look. They don't pay attention. And I don't know what we can do to stop it all happening.
Well,
other than sit here and spout about it.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? You know. But that one proved what we've all been saying. There was no real opposition there, but the lefty group was made up of lots of other little groups and minorities. You know, you had Antifa there, you had the pro-immigration, you had fucking everybody. And because they got no opposition to fight with there, they started fighting amongst themselves. And as for that display on the stage from the Greens and that prick, was it Polanski? My God. I mean, that should tell you everything you fucking need to know about them. Some gay male dancer dressed up in bondage gear and literally the Greens stand for everything the Muslims hate. Yet the party is full of fucking Muslims.
But no one else is saying we're here for you, for those people. So it's just another way of splitting the vote.
Oh, Labour are loving all this.
Oh,
they're absolutely fucking loving it because they want the Muslim vote. Greens are the only ones that are capable of taking the Muslim vote away from Labour. Now, if the Greens go down, they're all going to go to Labour. But the problem is the rise of so many parties on the right, as I said last week. This, you think Reform, Advance, and Restore, basically they along the lines they've all been saying the same sort of things, but to varying degrees. Many people are going to go with the real hard line, some with a little bit of a softer touch. And all it's going to do is, it'll take votes away from Labour, but it will split the votes even more, which doesn't do us any favours at all. To even have a chance of getting this country back and getting it back on a level, Labour have got to go one way or the other. I'm not even, we've got our voting papers through now. And I'm not even going to vote or make up my mind who I'm voting for. It will be for one of the right parties, the right-wing parties. But I still haven't made up my mind which one. They can all come out with a month's full of bullshit between now and the 7th of May. But, on paper and on the polls, the Greens are on the rise. Farage has taken a bit of a beating, but he's still up there. Restore, they're rising all the time. But, again, that will take time. The real hard right, a lot of people are going to be probably put off by the way they would do things. You're getting back on the realms of what they're shouting about, Nazism and shit. But, but I think we are heading towards some real civil crisis. I'll put it that way. If something don't change very, very quickly. I mean, what people are saying, the polls at the moment show, they're not saying it on mainstream, but some of the polls are showing a complete Labour wipeout in May. Maybe that will shake them up. Yeah, I've always said for a while now, Lothar, in my head, with the way things are, my vote would go to Reform. I've heard things that are pulling me away from that a bit, but at the moment, my allegiance isn't to them, but I believe they're, at the moment on paper, the only ones that have got a physical chance of pulling Labour out. There will be other parties that get seats. That there are little communities that will vote in their own councillor, if you know what I mean. Monster raving loony party, yeah. Screaming Lord Such, wasn't it?
I've just had a look and I can't see what candidates we're going to get. 10th of April, we'll get a list of our local.
So they're not publishing it until a month before.
Yeah.
Sounds about right for Birmingham.
It's all right. We were talking about this earlier, and I said to him, "Have a look, see who we've got standing locally, see what we've got, what options we've got, because that's the other thing. If there is a Reform and isn't any of the others, we've only got that. If that's the only right wing person we've got,
Yeah.
then we've got to go for that one.
I'm not saying I trust him, Loafer. I'll be totally honest. I don't trust any fucker in any government party at the moment. Yeah, I like some of the things that Rupert's saying, Stu, and I particularly like some of the things that he's done. One, forcing the grooming gangs inquiry by holding his own independent one. I mean, that was a brilliant move because it's already given the statutory one a little bit of a heads up of what they can expect. Yes, I did vote for reform last time. I felt it was my only option. But they're all capable of lying to get what they want. I should say 99% of them have got skeletons hidden in their closets and things from the past that they will be used in the future against them. None particularly more so than Starmer by the looks of things. He seems to like to keep young, fresh things in the wardrobe, apparently. I'll say no more on that. But as I said before, maybe that's why he's still favouring the Ukraine, because Iran won't give him free rent, boys. Someone said they offered him a couple of goats, but shouldn't say that, really. It's only hearsay, isn't it? But is it? There you look again today. He harped on about, how hard they had it back in the day. Fuck me. Nah. He never had it hard. He might have had the hard on at private school, but but there again, yeah, he has probably had it hard at some point at private school anyway, hasn't he? So, if you believe the rumours. Yeah, sorry, Stu.
Isn't it
Sometimes my head goes back into the old pap days when I'm on a live. And we ain't even reached the watershed yet.
Isn't it male-only boarding schools that offer the best opportunity for young boys to investigate?
Yes, and it is generally the prep schools, as they call them, like where my mum used to work. Most of the teaching staff, masters, etc., are all male as well.
Yes, I know Stephen Fry enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, he told us he did. But funny enough, I probably worked at a couple of institutions in my past where it was going on. I used to help my dad. It's what's called Cot Hill House. It's a private preparatory school. All boys. They used to take a lot of famous people's sons in there. DJs, rock stars. Even the king of one of the Arab countries sent his kid there to be educated. And then in later years, I moved on to work at where the lads would move on from that school, which was Radley College, where a lot of the toffs and what have you went on for their further education. But yeah, I never saw anything like that going on, or to me it was just if I was gang mowing the sports fields, it was just a gang of young lads that were in the way. Drive at them so they move out of the way. You didn't ask what they were doing. There was occasions where they run that quick and they forgot their bags and books and pencils, and they ended up part of the ground race, basically, after being through a 6-wide set of gang mowers. Yeah, I used to be an evil little bastard like that. But I used to put signs up, keep off the grass when mowing's in place. Yeah, I mean, they had a real bad reputation right going back, didn't they? You know, I mean, I go back to when I watched the original, what was it, Tom Brown's School Days. There was a couple of films and a series on it. But if you look back at the original, you know, it was absolutely outrageous. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Lothar. There are a lot of them. There have been many, I dare say, that have gone on to live just a normal life after experiencing that at school. You know, some probably decided it's what they enjoyed. Probably some that say they enjoy it because they've never experienced anything else. You know. That's that's something I've never looked into or wanted to attempt or even had it in my head, like, you know. Well, if that's what they want to do, that's what they get in their sexual pleasure. It's two consenting adults most of the time behind locked doors. Get on. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. You was the ugly kid, so it was never a problem. Yeah. Yeah, after meeting you, Moo, I can visualize that. Sorry. He is actually a very nice guy. Me, Heather, and several others that we know have met him. And he is a real nice guy, to be
The
honest. Moo.
That's what I meant. The Rev.
Oh, yeah. An update on Lost Souls. She has another a date for operation. Was it the 15th of April, darling?
I think it was, yeah.
15th of April. So fingers crossed. It won't get cancelled again. Poor love, she's had it cancelled so many bloody times now. And the thing is, with the condition, it's got to be affecting the mental health and everything with what they do, you know. But we will keep you abreasted. I mean, she has posted on Facebook. That's where I got the information from. But I dare say Heather will be in contact with her personally at some point as well. Yes, we will pass on everybody's best wishes, Stitch. Obviously, I always do, whether it's me or Heather that are speaking to her. I am Flyby. Yeah, I'm going on a bit longer tonight. I'm not. My throat's going, but at the moment. All right, buddy. Take care. Stay safe out there. If you're hoarding fuel, hoard it in a safe place.
Thanks for dropping in, Stu.
Yeah, always a pleasure, mate. Oh, and good evening to the ones that I know that will be in the back room there. Peter, good evening to you guys. There will be one or two more, I dare say, that we know. But
that's who I meant by our regular lurkers, the ones that we know are there.
Yeah. I mean, I used to go on live streams and just sit in the background and watch and not comment and listening to what was going on. And that's what turned me off of a lot of them, to be honest. As you know, there was a lot of grief going around a few years ago, in all directions. sadly, it seems there's a lot going on and arguments between the auditors and that now. There seems to be a few disruptor channels that have come up and, slating the auditors. Well, I don't like watching some of them with their attitudes. I don't complain about it. I just don't watch. you know, people just don't seem to understand that if you don't like something, there's an off button to everything. Yeah.
I haven't found yours yet.
My what?
Off button.
No. The on button's quite easy to find really because it covers most of my body.
I can't even find the mute switch.
Oh, you'll never find that. I disabled that years ago. And you've lost the ability now of getting me drunk, so I just crash out because I don't drink anymore.
I could slip it in your Coke.
I would notice. I would notice. Yeah, I don't mind the silent watchers. I'll be honest, because of the way I am on air, I don't get a lot of grief now from other people. I stay out of their way. If they want to stay out of mine, that's absolutely fine. I've got my faithful few that watch and follow. I've got another bunch on FaceAche. A lot of them are old friends that I know personally, going back as far as school, even earlier than that with a few of them. And a lot of them are along the same lines and the frame of mind as us. I won't get into it, but, the things over the jab, the weather modification, the government, the Labour, the wars. One or two have got different opinions, which is absolutely fine. Just because we got difference of opinion doesn't mean to say we can't be friends, They got a difference of opinion, but they're not trying to cut me fucking throat or blow me up. So as far as I'm concerned, they're just somebody who thinks different from me.
But there's also those people that can't comment because they're not subscribers. It is what it is. And you've got others that watch on something like a TV where you can't comment.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't use my mobiles on the internet as you know for YouTube, or I can get Facebook on one of them, but I don't use it for that. But I do all my stuff online. Some people like to stay anonymous. But unfortunately, when you're online, well, I found on the computer anyway, to get anywhere and to use anything, you've either got to put your email in, your personal phone number, or whatever. And you can stay anonymous, but only to a certain point. If people are determined enough and have got the knowledge to use the tech, then anybody can find out who anybody is,
Well, according to the TV, they can.
Well, we know that. I mean, right from the day one of fucking landline telephones, that they could cut into them and monitor calls.
I don't know enough about technology to know what they can and can't do, but I try not to put anything out there that that I worry about.
Good evening, Paulette.
If you can see it, then
yeah,
I'm not ashamed of it.
Look, I can remember back when we first got our telephone as a kid at home, and we only had 3 numbers. There was only ever 3 numbers originally in our telephone number. Yeah, that's all right,
Paulette's been watching on the telly. Evening, Paulette.
I mean, poor old Graham. He watches most of the time on the phone, and he has trouble seeing, and what have you. Mickey Mouse that used to come in, I haven't seen him about anywhere for a while. We used to let him get away with typing in capitals, because he has problems with his sight. I haven't heard anything from him from ages, but I dare say they're still out there somewhere.
They drift in, they say hello, they disappear, they come back a month later.
Well, you think about it, Loafer, they're going on about gas and oil. Data collection and selling and buying is probably one of the biggest commodities in the world now, when you think about it. They're putting more money and things into it than anywhere else.
Can I say on the subject of data collection, have you seen the ad? You're saying annoying adverts. Have you seen the ones that say sign up for your HMRC account because then you'll know what's going on with your money and your taxes and everything?
That's through the government one sign-on portal thing, isn't it?
Yeah. That is, give us all your details, give us access to your information.
Yep.
And you'll get the same information that's on your bloody payslip.
Yeah.
It's only any good if you're self-employed, that sort of thing. Because if you pay as you earn, you get a bloody payslip. All the information's on there.
Yeah,
that's
but it's all the other information they want off of you to get to that. That's got no relevance to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a totally unnecessary service that they're trying to get everybody to sign up for. It's a total and utter waste of time. It's just them collecting data.
I can remember, Loafer, when they went through the when was it? It was back in the late 60s, early 70s. Oi! I'm old, but I ain't old. When they tried this subliminal messaging in the pictures and the theatres. It was, but as kids, we never noticed it.
I never went.
Right up to the point where the woman come past you with the Kiora, I'll be your dog, But yeah, they tried all that, and as I say, tapping phones has been done since phones have been about, more or less. We know they used to tap into radio and things like CB. They've always tapped into that. They've always tapped into 2 meter on the ham radios. And we know all these apps on your mobile phone tap into your messages, even though they say they don't. So, this end-to-end encrypted is a load of bollocks. Top of the world. Yep. And we've proved it, Loafer. We've done experiments here where we've got devices on, sometimes even only the telly, and we'll talk about a subject totally out of nowhere and mention key words. And yes, within several hours, you start seeing things connected with that in your social media feed, in your Facebook, in your adverts that come up on your videos.
But a lot of this, it's Google itself, because your Gmail email links to absolutely everything. So you order some bits and you give them an email account. That's it. It's on your adverts.
Why do you think I get you to order all my stuff on eBay on your account?
Why do you think I get so many calls? And you go, I don't get those. No, because you don't fucking order anything.
Not in my own name.
True. No, he just said not in his own name. Because if he does buy anything off eBay or anything like that, it's all linked to my account. So he orders as me, and then goes, "It's a parcel for me. It's got my fucking name on it." What you doing?
Picking this up. This, they keep on about waste removal,
Oh, that, yeah.
recycling. This literally is a week's worth of shit that has come through our front door that will just go straight into recycling.
Which they're not picking up at the moment, so it's going in general rubbish.
So it's going in general waste because they're not picking our recycling up. And if I see them coming round when they do start recycling and doing what they were doing before, tipping it all in together, then I shall go back to doing what I was doing then and put all the rubbish in the one fucking bin.
But we'll have 4 of them. Or is it 6?
Yeah.
Is it 4 more? Or 4 in total?
Well, in total, they reckon we're going to end up with 4 to start with, 4 different ones.
Get the boys back to work and earning a wage before they...
But why should we sort through our recycling? They get people that are paid to do it. We don't get paid to do it. If they want me to do it, it's like the self-checkout at supermarkets. You know, we're getting paid. You're doing the work that people would get paid for. And this recycling shit is all the same. Now, if you generally want to try and do it properly, now they want separate food waste bins. Well, there's nothing better than food waste for breaking down any general rubbish that it's buried with. I mean, they say paper breaks down as soon as it gets wet. You can dig down in one of them things and find a 50, 60-year-old newspaper that is soaking wet, and you can still open it and read it because it hasn't rotted.
It's got no food waste.
No. Well, maybe what we should do, keep all the food waste and own pigs. That would serve 2 purposes then, wouldn't it? I'll say no more. But here in Birmingham, especially now, it is become a health problem. Where these piles of rubbish, you got the rats, diseases. You don't know who's throwing the rubbish in there and what they've got. You've got to walk past it or walk on the road to avoid it. Luckily enough, not in our area. We've always had right the way through COVID as well. We've always had at least one collection of some description, and they actually told us to put all the waste in the normal bin, even the recycling. And they will take it, and they will take extra bags if they're by the bin as well. But I believe that's only locally in our sort of constituency, as it were.
Our luxury area.
Hey?
Our luxury
area, yeah, we get our rubbish taken away. Mind you, it'd take at least 2 of their lorries to take away the shit and gardening crap and metal and everything I got in the back garden. But now you're going to see a total contradiction in action. Yeah, total contradiction there. That's the better one, though. And that's the spray for me angina when I have an attack. If I use that now, within 20 minutes, I'd be in here all over the place. It gives you a right fucking buzz. Smallest bin cardboard. Yeah, exactly, Loafer. I mean, we've got our recycling bin, we've only got the one at the moment. It's bigger than the regular bin. It's got a small box in the top for paper, and the rest of it is for cans and bottles. Because I only drink soft fizzy drinks, Heather likes her little tipple and the odd glass of wine, so she has the plastic mixer bottles with her whiskey and stuff, and gin, and any other alcohol she can get her fucking hand on. And quite often than not, if the family have been round for Sunday dinner, we actually have to sit the cardboard one on top of the cans and bottles. Like, I won't crush them. Fuck it. That's their job. They want to recycle them. They're the ones that get the money for it. I'll have to shake it to make the lid sit down. But I've got, not all mine, but 4 big TV boxes out in the shed, which if you put the only time they'll take that is if it's tied up and it's after Christmas. We haven't got a garden waste bin because I absolutely refuse to pay to have the garden waste taken away, considering it's a council house and we keep the gardens tidy, which at the end of the day will only benefit them.
And pre-COVID, it was just a case of put it in the car and take it round the tip.
Yeah. Now you got to book in a weekend when you got time free. You can't get a slot. Local sub to scrapping Irish. Go on then, Loafer. Deliver the punchline.
I don't think that is. I think what he's.
Okay. Drink question. Speaking of recycling, stop. Bloke I sub to stop scrapping Irish passed away yesterday.
There's a lot of it about life. Was he jabbed? Oh, shouldn't say
Pre-COVID.
That. Yeah, that was my comment about before COVID. You didn't have to book to go to the tip.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I totally misunderstood that.
But yeah, our tip is quite local to where we are, so it wasn't a difficult.
I mean, yeah, you bring that up. I mean, at the moment, I haven't seen any figures publicised of excess deaths lately, although that you do hear that they're still going on. Maybe that's part of one of the upcoming modules of the COVID inquiry. But again, we've had, 3 years of the COVID inquiry. They've found things, illegal dealings, people sending people home to die, which I would class as manslaughter if they could have been saved in hospital or whatever. They brought all this to the front, but we're not seeing anybody being held to account other than a few million being recovered from people mis-selling the PPE and that, like Baroness Moan and her husband. That was the one that was always in the news, and that's the only one I've ever heard about. So it looks like they've stopped trying to reclaim all the money now even.
Well, that thing that we watched was saying most of it isn't there to try and get back.
Yeah.
Because the money's all been spent. The company that it was paid to has now gone bankrupt.
Yeah, and the money's been filtered away elsewhere.
Because all they did was take the money out and spend it.
Rupert Lowe stated that any business or personal financial inconvenience would be compensated. Yeah, that's fair enough saying it, Loafer. When it's into a few £100 or a few £1,000, that's fine. But some of this goes into the millions and even billions in some cases. I mean, look at the state of the finances now over the post office inquiry. They're openly admitting that they haven't got the money to pay them, the compensation. And they haven't, And the thing is, why should the compensation come from the fucking taxpayer? This is the issue. It's like the police do wrong. Yep, sue them, claim compensation. And ultimately, it's the taxpayer that's paying that compensation. Yeah, it comes out of the police budget, but they'll just claim it back the following year. They'll use the budget up so they can get more. Most police forces, although they're not admitting it, they seem to be really struggling financially with all the cuts. So how are they going to improve the police? Especially when they can't get the people to sign up for it, like the army.
You're quite right there, Loaf, about declaring bankruptcy and just starting up another. It's so easy to do. There's laws to try and stop it, but they're so easy to get around.
Yeah, you can protect your own money and what have you. If the bailiffs come in or whatever, they can't touch your house, can't touch your car. All they can touch is anything connected to the business.
But you look at a few years, just a couple of years ago, when the Conservatives were still in power, Starmer was moaning that they needed to pay the WASPy women. He was behind the WASPy women. They needed their money. The moment he came into power, what did he do? U-turn. No, we can't afford to pay it. No, they're not getting it.
And I won't mention any names, or connections, to be honest, because that could get me into trouble, even though it was a while ago. I even worked for an engineering company that was like that, putting out substandard stuff. I was seeing loads of cash deals being done. Bills were never getting paid on time and shit like that.
Should have seen what I saw.
Yeah, well, that's what I say. I'm not even going to say about your connection to it. But there was a lot going on that shouldn't have been going on. But I did hear after I'd gone from there that he did go bust, owing a lot of money and screwed up a lot of people. But, yeah.
But there are some very unscrupulous people out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And they do it time and time and time again.
Absolutely. I mean, when we were doing the landscaping and the garden maintenance, I mean, yeah, we did advertise, but only in what was the yellow pages then. But most of the work we got, same as with when I was on the roofing in Cornwall. More or less every single work we got came from recommendation. Yeah, if other companies wanted to go around, put their card through the door and give them a price. If the customer thought, oh yeah, we'll get a better deal there, go ahead, take it, You've seen the standard of our work, but when it all falls apart and they ruin your fucking garden, don't ask us to come and put it right. Simple.
Unfortunately, there are times when people cannot afford to pay what they really should be paying to get a decent job.
Yeah.
But the first thing they do is complain afterwards. Well, they haven't had a decent job done.
On a Saturday morning, around, where Mum's house used to be,
yes.
Round the corner, there is a big cluster of, or they used to be, I don't know whether they're still there, of old age pensioner apartments. Some were rented from the council, some had actually bought them. And as the years went by, some of the gardens used to be left a bit rough. When the council come around with their big mower to cut their ones, they used to drive them over these what were nicely kept lawns and just cut them like a public space. So on a Saturday morning, if we didn't have any jobs on, there was one or two of the pensioners that we used to know and say hello to, and we'd just pop round the corner, cut their lawns, mow them properly for them, spray the beds with a bit of weed killer, get rid of the weeds. Never charged for it, But you don't see a lot of that now. I mean, we're lucky because we do see it. Basically, I can't cut the lawn in one hit. In fact, it will take 2 or 3 now. We've got a very good friend who does other people's lawns, not always for a living, but he does earn money at it. And he comes round and he cuts our lawn for us. Well, paddock.
And all he gets is a couple of cups of tea.
And all he expects is a couple of cups of tea when he's at it.
And some good company.
Yeah. And, and believe me, we do really, really appreciate that, because it's something I can't do for myself anymore. And yeah, say it might be payback for what I did for others in the past, but I see it as that's what friends do for each other.
I'm going to get him round here and get him drunk in the summer.
Well, the thing is, when he's doing the cars, he will come across, and has done quite regularly on modern cars. He doesn't know what the bit is or where it is. He doesn't work the internet. He hates computers. He's never learned. So he'll come round and say, "Oh, can you look this part up for me and see if you can get it?"
And how do I claim pension credit?
Yeah, or you sort his pensions out for him.
I used to do all his invoicing.
And that's our little way of helping him, for him helping us. And originally he was one of Heather's mates. Before I came on the scene, they've known each other for donkey's years.
No, even longer than that.
And he's a good friend of mine now. We've become very good friends. I used to work for him for a little bit when I was trying to get back into work. I was helping him with the cars, because he knew I knew about cars. He knew I was good with a set of spanners, and he needed a dig out on that. So I went over for a few weeks and gave him a dig out on that, servicing and repairs and things. We had a bloody good laugh,
But we've always worked on a barter system.
Yeah. If any money does change hands, you make sure it's cash.
He said years ago he was not going to work on any more of my cars. And then I needed a favour, and I asked him if he could sort it for me, and he did.
Yeah, and who's the first one round here as soon as we bought another car to have a look at it? Oh, we'll get that in, we'll have a check over that.
But he did something for me the other day, got it sorted, make sure it was sound before it went for its MOT. And it needed a wash. And he's disgusted with the state of our car. And he's insisting on having it back in the next month or so to get a mop and polish on it, because it doesn't shine the way he thinks it should.
Yeah, ignore the cracks and the scratches and the smashed bumper. And
doesn't want me driving around in a car that's not up to his standard.
Yeah,
I love that boy.
I love her. I'd be shutting down in 10 minutes or so anyway. I'm surprised I've kept going this long.
Sorry, night, Loretta.
But yeah, with our mate, I mean, he's always looked after Heather's cars way back before I came on the scene. Although I'm very competent mechanic myself, he's always done it. He's always enjoyed doing it. So I don't interfere unless I'm asked to help. It's a thing between them, which is absolutely fair. He'll drop by with his tax problems or invoicing or something like that, and Heather sits down and does that for him, because that's what she does. That's what she knows how to do. But
and you help friends.
Yeah, you do. That's when you find out who your friends are.
And to be honest, I think some of what's wrong with the country today is that sort of mentality doesn't apply the way it used to.
Yeah.
People don't understand the barter system. You do something for a mate, they owe you. They do something for you.
Yeah.
But you don't call it in unless you absolutely have to.
Well, with all the friends that I've got and the ones I've had, yes, there's a lot there that would give me help when I've needed it, and some of them quite rightly have, and I've done the same with them.
They just live too far away now.
But yeah, a lot of them were spread out all over the country. But out of all of them, I should say there is probably 3, maximum 4, that I know would put their life on the line for me if it was needed. And I know that because they know I would do exactly the same for them. Now, that's a sort of friendship that you probably wouldn't see nowadays. You know, that they're friendships that are born of many, many years of trust, respect, working with someone, living with someone. You know, that those privileges are very, very hard earned. And I can honestly sit here and say that is the absolute truth between me and minimum of 3 of my friends.
And I hope everybody out there has.
And there is
friends.
in one of them 3 that has actually done it on one occasion as well.
I hope everybody out there has friends that would do that for them.
Yeah,
because I do appreciate we are very, very lucky in. But when you get to our age, you've met a lot of people.
Well, when you're a late teenager, early 20s, and someone's grabbed somebody that's coming up behind you with a blade that you didn't see doing, and jumped in front of them, that was what swayed me on one in particular. Yeah, I could have had some serious problems if he hadn't have stepped in. Again, the bloke had a blade. He put his life on the line for me, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah,
that's how it was.
That's how it was back then. Yeah, it was. If you,
and it was his job.
Well, yeah, you could say that in a way. But I'm not talking about the one you're thinking of when you say that.
Are you talking a fellow bouncer?
No.
Oh, in that case, no, it wasn't his job.
But he would. He is one of them. He is one of them.
Oh, both of them would.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would do the same for them if I could. But yeah, that's what I call real friendship. You know, that is a union with respect. Right, well, with that, looking at the time, I'm smoking more and more. I smoke more when I'm online talking than I do any other time of the day, which hasn't done me a lot of good. And I want to, well, really, I want to try and get my head down for an hour or so before I try and watch this rocket.
Because you're the one that won't make it till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably fucking fall asleep at -5 on the countdown or something.
I'm the one that falls asleep trying to watch television in bed. But I can sit down there till 2 o'clock in the morning. It gets him right pissed off. But thank you.
Sorry. I must take some more of my tablets as well. Right, guys. Thank you very much for dropping in tonight, as always, you lovely people.
See everyone.
At least I've been able to keep going to my usual target of 2 hours now. I'll probably regret it later. I'll go upstairs with intent of watching it. I'll be gone.
Yeah, but if I come up about 11:15, that'll wake you up.
That'll wake me up, and then you'll start snoring so I can't hear the bloody thing.
You can turn the volume up, it might wake me up again.
I need a set of headphones up there, don't
I need headphones down here.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. As ever, so respectful in the chat. Yeah, that's why I like it in here. There's no arguments. Yeah, different of opinion on the odd occasion. But we can all do that and still have friends, you know.
Gotcha.
So with that, that's a good night from me.
And it's good night from me. And Stitch, love the photo.
Oh, you've been online with it. And as always, no matter what you're doing, where you're going, stay safe, stay strong. And now, more than ever, we need to stay free. We need to get ourselves free. Respects, people. Take care.
Night all.